All right, hi everybody. How's everybody doing? This is ODHD coming to y'all again. For the second time. This is part two of life in prison after prison experiences. Right. Last week, what I did was I gave y'all an overview and an idea of the things that I was going through and that I was facing my first week out of prison. I told you how I established a good rapport with my parole officer, how I was in the process of getting my license after I took my basic knowledge, how I got my food stamps and how I was able to help my family out here at the house, hanging out with my niece for the first time and getting to babysit her, having a crawfish and big cookout for my welcome home party, how my little brother proposed to his now fiance, how I got to drive for the first time, hanging out with my dad for the first time and since I was born, you know what I mean? We met last year when I was in prison. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving y'all part two of life in prison after prison experiences. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go over a specific topic. What I'm going to do is before I even get into prison, before I even get into hitting a transfer facility or an ID unit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all the experience that anybody has faced or will face if they ever have to go to, the county jail or a city jail to the county jail. So once again, before we get started, can y'all please go to ODHD TV, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let's get started. So, a lot of y'all may know that I went down for aggravated robberies, okay? That's already known for the people who do know me. For those who don't know me, well, now you do know. Okay, so, now, going into the city jail, you're going into Pasadena City Jail, where we're from right here. For those of y'all who are here in Pasadena, when you go to Pasadena City Jail, it is very, very unpleasant. It is very cold. When you get in there, you got to go to a tank. From when I remember 7 years ago, you had to go to a tank on your left hand side if all the other tanks are overcrowded. And all these tanks, all they do is have concrete benches on there. Concrete floor, concrete benches. There's no towels. This is no Holiday Inn. This is no Marriott. You're not getting treated like, like a citizen in here. No, you're getting treated like the worst of the worst. So when you go in here, you're going to sit or sleep on a concrete bench. If the benches are overcrowded, you're going to sleep on the floor or you're going to lay on the floor, sit on the floor, whatever it is that you choose to do. When you go into Pasadena City Jail, if you have this shirt on right here, a regular shirt with another undershirt on, you have to choose which of those shirts that you want. You want that top shirt or you want that bottom shirt. And for those of y'all who do know, it is very, very cold in Pasadena City Jail. In any jail that you go to, it is very, very cold. Okay, so, and you're not going to get a blanket, you're not going to get a pillow, you're not going to get any of that, okay? So once you make it from this tank right here, you're going to make it to either a drunk tank if you're in there for public intoxication. You're going to make it to some sort of tank where they're going to hold you until they can put you in a cell. Now, when you walk into these cells have two bunk beds in them. There's two bunk beds in there. There's a shower, there's a sink. The shower, it only spits out cold water. You don't have no towel to dry off. You have to air dry. So imagine trying to air dry with nothing but cold air pumping through the vents, maybe as cold as 60 degrees or maybe even colder than that, right? Okay, there's no sunlight. You can hardly ever call your people because you don't know what time it is. So you got to continue trying the payphone over and over again until you can get a hold of somebody. The guards don't ever want to tell you what time it is. And for those of y'all who are able, who are used to eating whatever it is that you want to eat at whatever time it is that you want to eat, it's not going to go down like that in jail. In Pasadena City Jail, from what I remember, in 2013, you're going to get TV dinners. Just like those little bitty banquet TV dinners that you see in Kroger and H-E-B, you're going to get that. And they're not going to be steaming hot, cooked for you the way you want them to. No, sometimes the mashed potatoes still have icicles in them. You know what I mean? Sometimes the patty is still cold. Sometimes the corn still has icicles on it. So just take that into consideration before you plan on doing something crazy and end up having to go to Pasadena City Jail. Okay, so from there, my experience was I had a detective hold, correct? Okay, I had a detective hold, so that means that I could not call my family. I could not know what time it was. I could not talk to anybody else in the jail until the detectives came down to interrogate me on their own time, on their own leisure. When you're used to doing things at your own time, on your own behalf, when you want it, how you want it done, that all goes out the window when you're inside jail. So please take those kind of things into consideration before you do something crazy that'll lead you to jail. Okay, so then I went to go get interrogated. Long story short, I was sent to the county jail. Okay, I was charged with aggravated robberies. I got sent to the county jail. Now, when you go to the county jail, for those of y'all who have been there, Y'all can agree. For those of y'all who have not been there, I hope y'all don't ever have to go. And if you're doing something that can lead you there, you better change your ways. Okay, so going into the county jail, you're gonna sit in a big room, in a big room. As soon as you get there, you're gonna walk through some sliding doors. They're gonna take you to the left, and you're gonna go and you're gonna sit in this big room with nothing but concrete benches. From there on, they're gonna call your names and they're gonna have y'all go through. You're gonna get fingerprinted. They're gonna take your thumbs and they're gonna run it through a machine and they're gonna take your thumbprints and all your handprints. From there, they're gonna take y'all all against the wall and they're gonna make you take off your shoes, your socks, and they're gonna make you take off your pants and they're gonna make sure that you don't have any kind of weapons, drugs, or any kind of contraband that you're bringing in to this county jail. From there right there, you're gonna go into your first holding tank. When you go into your first holding tank, this holding tank is liable to be packed with 30, 40, 45, 50 people in this little bitty room that can possibly fit maybe 20 to 25 people max. Some of these people are drunk. Some of these people are on drug binges. Some of these people are just frustrated. Some of them are passed out on the floor. Some of them have already pissed on themselves. Some of them have boo-booed on themselves because the toilet over there is full of boo-boo and full of piss. Nobody wants to sit on it. So these dudes are using the restroom on themselves. Some dudes are sitting on the on top of the walls that come that come out of the other brick wall. So I mean, it's just disgusting in there, man. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's locked up for who knows what. Everybody's in there with an aggravated mindset. You don't know what's going through the mind of the next man that's sitting next to you, laying next to you, whatever's going on. So to top that all off, you have about 4 or 5 phones in this room, and these phones right here, from my experience, they did not have receivers on them. They had they had the little bitty thing where you can put your ear to and you can talk into, and you have to crouch down and you have to sit there and try to call your family free, because the first few tanks that you make it into from here on out are going to be free phone calls. After that, there's no more free phone calls. So whatever it is that you have to do, get a hold of a lawyer, get a hold of a family member, a friend, baby mama, kids, whoever it is that you need to get a hold of to try to get a bondsman, to try to get the lawyer, to let them know that you're going to be locked up for a while. Whatever it is that you need to let somebody know, you have to try to hurry up and make it happen within these next few tanks, because after that, everything is collect. And we all know that people do not like taking collect calls, even for those who they love. You know what I mean? So back to what I was saying. So now you're at this phone. Imagine me. I'm only 5'3". 5'3", you hear me? I am short. So for me to have to crouch down and put my ear to a phone, that lets you know that it's very low on the wall. So that lets you know it's very uncomfortable, not only for me, but for everybody else who's taller than me. And you have to scream in these phones because everybody is screaming right next to you. The next man who probably been drinking, smoking, ain't brushed his teeth in a week, he's been talking into the same phone that you just got on. And it smells like whatever the hell his breath smells like. You get my drift? Okay. So now, you got to try to call your people, let them know whatever it is that you need to let them know, right? Okay, so they're only going to come and get maybe about 10, 15 people at a time out of this tank. Okay, well, if there's only 45 or 50 people, that's a pretty good number to get at a time. But when they're only calling 10 or 15 people out every 2 to 3 hours, you're going to be up in here, man, for a while. Especially if you're only in the second, third, or maybe the fourth shot. You're going to be in there for a while. So once you get done with this tank, you're going to go to another tank, and then you're going to go to what they call probable cause, right? So it's a little bit bigger, but they're still going to overflow it. Nothing is to be done the right way in the county jail, city jail, anywhere in Houston. From my experience, nothing is to be done the right way. If maximum capacity is 45, they're putting 85 of y'all in there. Okay, so y'all all going to wait. There's another separate room with some glass windows right there. And these people are going to call you up there and they're going to ask you for certain information, and they're going to get this information out of you for whatever reason it is, to give it to the courts, judge, DA, whatever it is. If I'm not mistaken, it's for you to be able to go to probable cause court before you get sent up to a floor. Whether the judge is going to say, you know what, I find reason and I find it substantial to hold you here until further notice, or you know what, go ahead and get out of here. I'm giving you a PR bond, or, giving you something that allows you to get out of here. So this is another tank that you get to get a free phone call. Now, every single one of y'all that is in here is waiting in line. So, like I know, that there are just some people who jail is not made for. It's just not made for jail. I mean, there's nothing in them that allows them, or that, to be able to hold their own and stand their ground when it comes to being bullied, when it comes to being, taken advantage of, when it comes to being hogged, what we call it, in jail. You get hogged for the phone, get hogged for your commissary, get hogged for whatever it is that you own, that your people send you, you get hogged for it. Okay, so now there's people in here waiting for their turn to get the phone. This dude may be on the phone and he may be trying to get to his family or his friends or whoever it is that he's trying to get to. You may be that person that is lucky enough for him to say, no, you're not getting this phone right now. Even though you call next, you're not getting this phone right now. And whatever it is that you want to do, let's do it. You know what I mean? So if you're somebody who does not have the capability to fight, or who just doesn't like to fight, even though you can fight, you just don't like to fight, and you don't want to be going through those kind of situations, having to deal with somebody else tell you that you cannot use a phone when you're used to having your own cell phone. Think twice about going through this, because we're only a couple of hours into this county jail process, and we're only 10 minutes into this video. Okay, so therefore, now you're gonna hit a couple more tanks just like this. Like I said, okay, let's speed up this process. You're gonna hit a couple more tanks just like this. The last tank that you get to that has a free phone, you're not only gonna have a chance to get a free phone, but right before this tank, you get your oranges. You take whatever it is, whatever clothes that you have on. So for those of y'all who got J's, who got jewelry, who got Louis, Gucci, Prada, Christian Dior, whatever it is that you have on, man. You may be fly, you may be dingy, but whatever it is that you got on, you're gonna have to give that up, and you're gonna have to put that in a bag or in a hanger, and you're gonna have it's gonna have your name and your number on it. Okay. That's not to say that their clothes won't get lost in the sauce. You hear me? That's not to say that. But that's a process that they take. They take their clothes from you and they give you a pair of orange boxers. They give you a pair of orange socks. They give you a pair of orange pants and a pair of and an orange shirt. Right there. When I was in there, they stopped giving the under t-shirts because people kept cutting them up and making do-rags out of them. Okay, so that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna be walking around looking like a brown, white, black, whatever color you are. You're gonna be walking around looking like that color jack-o'-lantern. Walking around looking like a damn jackass. Excuse my French. Okay. So from there, after you get your oranges, you go into the last room that has a last free phone in there. And guess what? There's only one of those in there. These last two tanks that you would just the last three or 2 or 3 tanks that you just went in, they all had free phone calls and they had like 4 or 5 phones. This one only has one, and they're trying to get y'all through this process as fast as possible now, because you have to go see a doctor and you have to get x-rays taken of your lungs and taken of your back to make sure that you have no injuries that can cause that can be held liable for if they put you in general population or somewhere that can get you hurt, or to make sure that you don't have any kind of tuberculosis or any kind of scars in your lungs to where you could possibly get somebody else sick. So now everybody's in here in line trying to use this one phone. But guess what? Just like I said before, there's always going to be that one or maybe more than one person that's always going to try to say, no, I'm going to use a phone again, and I'm not letting nobody go right now. So now, therefore, what's going to happen? Are you going to get hogged for the phone, or are you going to sit there and you're going to stand your ground and let everybody else know that, you know what, you can't hog me for this phone? Because if the first man hogs you for the phone, then the second man's going to want to hog you for the phone. The third man's going to want to hog you for the phone. So now there, boom, you done got past the process of getting through the phone call, the tanks with the phone calls. Every other tank from here on out is going to be collect phones. So now, once you go through this, you're going to go through something called processing. You've already been through processing. You're going through that the whole time. But now you're getting along with the process. Now you're going to hit a couple more tanks, and some of these tanks are going to consist of you going up to somebody, either a man or a woman, asking questions such as, do you gang bang? What's your religious preference? What do you consider yourself? Me, I'm black and I'm black and Mexican. I tell them I'm black and Mexican. I didn't tell them I was black. I didn't tell them I was Hispanic. And if they want to put something else on there, they want to put black, or Mexican on there, well, then they can go ahead and put that on there. But these are some of the questions that you're gonna answer. Are you a veteran? Are you disabled veteran? Honorable discharge, dishonorable discharge. Do you have any allergies? Are you straight? Are you homosexual, bisexual? Do you have any fears to go into general population? You have all these questions that they're gonna ask you to decide where they're gonna house you. So they can know, okay, can we put this person in general population where, it's rocking and rolling, or do we have to try to put them in, somewhere safer, maybe protective custody, maybe, single cell, things of that nature. Okay, so if any of this sounds interesting to you or appealing to you, go ahead and keep doing what you're doing right now. Go ahead. Just keep doing what you're doing. Go through the process. You know what I mean? Of sleeping on concrete benches, on concrete floors that got piss all over them, where dudes are just, full of drugs. They don't know what they're doing. They're hallucinating in there. They want to fight. They want to scream. They're banging on doors. They're getting on your nerves. Oh, yeah, and let me tell you, for those of y'all who like to eat good and who want to eat what y'all want to eat, stuff like that, this whole time that you're going through processing, the only thing that they're giving y'all for Johnny Sacks, in jail, they call it a Johnny. They're going to give you a cold bologna and cheese sandwich. It's government cheese and some kind of bologna that don't even look like bologna. And there's going to be 2 pieces of bread. And it's rock hard because it's frozen. The cheese and the ham or the bologna still has ice particles on it. And what people do to heat it up in order for them to be able to eat it is they put it under their armpits, they put it in their shirt. Some people even put it in between their legs in their boxers, and they sit on it for a little bit. Go to sleep. When they wake up, it's warmed up. You're gonna get, and with that sandwich might come a banana, it might come an oatmeal pie. And when I was going in there, it might be like a coffee cake or something like that. But that was very rare because they save that for when you get to the floor and you go to general population. Okay, so now this whole processing, I'm breaking it down to you fast as I can, but this whole processing phase, before you ever get to a floor and get to a bed with a mattress and a blanket and get to take a shower and get to finally relax, this process can take you anywhere from 2 to 3 days. You're stinking. Everybody else stinks around you. You can't take no shower. This cheese and this bologna and this bread is clogging you up. Some people are constipated. They can't even go to the restroom. So you're going through all this kind of stuff, right? Okay. So now you finally make it to a floor. Whether it be 701, whether it be 1201, whether it be, if I'm not mistaken, it was 1301. You got Little Baker, Big Baker, then you got 701. You finally make it to a floor. You want to come in here, man. You want to chill. You want to be able to take a shower. You want to be able to lay down and go to sleep. But you can't. Why? Because everybody wants to know where you're from. They want to know what you bang. They want to know who you ride with. They want to know, who you know. They want to know all these questions, man, as if they're the damn IRS or the Social Security office, as if they really matter to you or you matter to them. You don't matter to nobody in jail, and don't nobody matter to you in jail. It's every man for himself. Remember that. When it's all said and done, it's every man for himself. Because you know what? You came in there by yourself, you leaving by yourself. And that's if you get to leave. Sad to say, people die in jail and they die in prison. I seen it with my own eyes. That's another story. We'll leave that for some more episodes to come. Okay, so now you got to deal with this, okay? So a lot of tanks in the county are segregated. Okay, and the majority races in the county are blacks and Mexicans, African Americans, Mexican Americans, blacks, Latinos, whatever you want to call it. This is a majority race in there. So a lot of these tanks that you go into, a lot of the tanks will be segregated. The blacks will be on one side, the Mexicans will be on the one side, whites, Asians, what have you, that's not Mexican or that's not black, that get in where they fit in. Okay, so therefore, you got to go in there and you got to decide, okay, where am I staying at? Person like me, okay, am I sleeping on the side where majority of the blacks are at? Am I sleeping on the side where the majority of the Mexicans are at? Me, I don't give a damn what nobody thinks. I've always been solo. So when I go in there, I'm finding a bunk. If I like where that bunk is at, or if there's just no other bunk, I'm going to sleep there. It don't matter if it's on the black side, if it's on the Mexican side, if it's on the white boy side. I don't give a damn about none of that, okay? I'm not the stiffest, I'm not the weakest. But these are some of the things that you have to go through when you're in jail. So just think about it. You're in the county. You haven't reached prison yet, okay? So these are some of the things that you have to face going into the city jail, Pasadena City Jail, Houston City Jail, McCowa City Jail. I done been to all three. Pasadena, McCowa, and Houston City Jail. And neither one of them are pretty. Neither one of them are better than the other. I wouldn't prefer to be in either one more than the other because I prefer not to be in jail. I prefer not to be in prison. I'm done with that kind of lifestyle, okay? So now that we've gone past the part of, okay, now you've hit a tank, okay? Now you have to get adjusted to everybody else's moods, attitudes, whatever it is that they're going through. One day this dude might be smiling in your face, kikiing, ha-haing with you, shooting the breeze with you, shooting dice, playing dominoes, all this and that. Then when it's all said and done, the very next day, he might get some bad news. And you not knowing that he got this bad news, he might just spaz out on you. And so now what happens? You done got into a fight with this dude because you don't know what's going on with him. You just know he spazzed out on you. He disrespected you. Now y'all got to fight. So guess what happens? The white shirts come up in there. Maybe the turtles come up in there. Whoever comes up in there, they're gonna want to know what went on with this fight. And some of these guards are not coming up in there. Hey, Mister So and So, what's going on? Can you explain to me what's the situation? Nah, so they know. Okay, you want to fight? Well, fight us. Come out here and get your ass beat out here too. Excuse my French. You know what I mean? So now you're in lockup. Now you done got a case. You know what I mean? Your lawyer can see it. The DA can see it. The judge can see it. Whenever you go to court and you're trying to fight this case and you're trying to get the best deal possible, what we see right here, Mr. So and So, that you've been fighting. That's what you got to go through. You got to go through people's moods, attitudes, schedules. You may be used to watching what you want to watch on TV. Movies every night, TV shows every night, sitcoms. But no, you got to worry about, what these people are watching. And sometimes it's not what everybody's watching. Sometimes it might be what they call in the county a tank boss. The biggest, baddest dude who has a remote and dictates what's going to be shown on that TV, and he's going to continue to do so until somebody steps up and says, you know what, this is not going on anymore. I want to look at you. Come over here and holler at me in this corner or under this TV or whatever you may have it, and fight. And then even then, you still might not get the desired result that you want, because you know what, he's still in this tank. So with that being said, I hope that right there, with just my experiences of going to the city jail, to going to the county jail, I hope this experience has given somebody some kind of insight, some kind of, valuable information, as to what it is like, going into the city jail, what it's like going into the county jail, the things that you have to face, that you have to go through, the things that are going through your mind with having a fighting case. You don't know what type of time you're facing. You haven't been to court yet. You don't have a lawyer yet. Bondsmen BSing, or your family and friends may BSing with the bond money. And everybody in here, man, is just, you got all these different minds and attitudes and emotions and characters, man, in one pot, man, in a very undesirable, unfavorable environment. You hear what I'm saying? And so when they say, man, pressure bust a pipe, it really does bust pipes, because people get to spazzing out. You get to thinking about things that you never thought of before. You get to thinking of survival tactics that you never thought of before. So if you know somebody who is going down the wrong path and possibly, that can either lead them to, to jail, prison, or maybe even death, try to talk to them. Maybe even show them this video from somebody who has firsthand experience. I went down facing 99 years for 7 aggravated robberies. Anybody who knows me, they know this story. If you don't, you can look it up on Google. I'm ODHD. You can just look up Pasadena, Texas, 7 robberies, whatever it, okay? But this is not to be glorified, so don't think that I'm sitting here capping, because I'm not, okay? I could have faced the rest of my life in prison, away from my family, and potentially not be here right now, chilling with my niece, chilling with my mother, chilling with my little brother, you know what I mean? Getting my life back on track, excuse me, I got tongue tied. Getting my life back on track, going to college, pursuing my goals and my dreams, and potentially being able to help somebody else who's possibly headed down that same road. So this is not to be glorified. Don't look at this video or this segment as, oh, he just wants to let the world know because, he wants to glorify it. No, I don't. There's nothing pretty about this, okay? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help the next person from going down that same road. I'm trying to pay it forward. Somebody talk to me and help me realize the error of my ways, and I want to do that to somebody else. Okay, so if you know somebody, please talk to them. If you are that somebody that's headed down that wrong path and you're watching this video right now, DM me. You can message me on Facebook at Orlando Gutierrez. You can message me on Instagram at Orlando Bands, or you can leave a comment on this YouTube channel at ODHD TV, and I'll get to you, man. If you need to talk to somebody about whatever it is that you're going through, if you're doing something that can lead you down the wrong way and you want to find a way to change, but you just don't know how to ask for help, because as men, we are full of pride, and the one thing that we don't want is help. But we have to swallow that pride, because too much pride can kill a man. Trust me, in many more ways than physical death. So I hope somebody out there enjoyed this segment today. Please subscribe to my channel, ODHD TV. Leave a like, leave a comment, and please share this video with somebody else, okay? Be looking for another video tonight coming to Facebook and to YouTube, to my channel. tonight. Excuse me, I had a brain fart. But be looking for another video tonight of me rapping, okay? It's going to be to that middle child instrumental. I know that's a hot instrumental that a lot of people have been trying to, go tick for tack on, man. So I'm going to be spitting a little something hot to that, man. I know a lot of y'all like the last video that I posted. And then a lot of y'all like the other video that I posted on TikTok to my Instagram as well. So therefore, be looking for another video. If it doesn't come tonight, it'll be on first thing in the morning. But peace and blessings to all of y'all. This is ODHD. I hope somebody, man, can learn something from this today. And please, again, subscribe to my channel at ODHD TV. Peace and blessings.